everybody. It's me, Will, aka Bonehead, and Derek, aka Sky, with another episode of Blame It on Anime. And we're about to chop it up about episode 3 of season 3 of Demon Slayer, the Swordsmith Village arc. Yeah, Derek, you were saying?
Yeah,
What
I
was
was saying that episode was it was good. I felt like it was gonna take a turn because things just got too like blissful and chill for just a little while now. I felt like I don't know, the storyteller and story consumer in me was just like anticipating like something about to go awry and just get crazy, and sure enough, it did. I like how it started out with just continue on from last episode, So Yurichi's sword is discovered, it's all rusty. Um that other I can't remember his name, but another swordsmith came out the woodwork all swole and diesel and was trying to take it from
Yeah,
Tanjiro.
yeah.
I got this. He was like, yo, who bro, what? Like, nah, like I thought it was just kind of funny. In typical like anime fashion, you had to like tickle him to get him to like chill out and get him
Yeah, like all
incapacitated.
that
You know what I
size and
mean?
like he gets tickled. Yeah, all
Yeah.
that size he gets tickled and he gets
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah. So again, I was talking last episode about the lore. That's gonna be like my theme word, probably
Hmm.
um, as long as we do this podcast. You know what I mean? Because I think lore is really what brings us and attracts us to anime, man. So with that sword being that it was, Yurichi's sword, Yurichi was the only demon slayer that can really give Muzan that work. I wonder. I'm kind of anticipating and wonder if there's gonna be a full circle moment, and if that sword will somehow be refurbished or somehow
Right.
used in some kind of way to maybe slay Muzan or at least kill other demons with it. So it'd be cool to see that happen again.
Yeah, I
Um,
was I was curious about that myself. I had like this little theory, like what if Muzan can smell Yurichi's scent on that blade and that makes him have a
maybe,
flashback.
or maybe he could smell his own scent, his own blood on that
Oh
blade.
yeah, that too, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it looked a
Yeah.
little nasty, like it wasn't just rust on there. You know what I'm saying?
It did.
uh, yeah, it was dope, man. But yeah, when that all ended, you know what I mean? It went next into a little scene where you see a little bit of downtime, right? Which ever since Tanjiro kind of stumbled upon the Swordsmith Village,
hmm
apart from that little training session, that it's been downtime for him being there. And that's when I started feeling, all right, things got to pick back up. You didn't really come to the Swordsmith Village to relax. And
hmm
sure enough, you see the Mist Hashira roll up uh, on Tanjiro, talk to him about like, Nezuko being weird looking and odd and trying to figure out Tanjiro out a little bit because
Yeah, he was strange out the gate. Like he like clasps dude's nose and like pinched his nose shut. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just some weird shit.
to wake somebody up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean he's like a, I don't know, bro, because he's so young. It reminds me of like one of those like pompous kids that
Yeah,
thinks they know it all, and then they
yeah,
like slowly warm up to you, like, you're not all bad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
I agree. Then sure enough, while we're seeing that moment, we see the upper rank demons obviously getting ready to attack in some way. And
right, right.
I thought, well, going back, I thought it was interesting. Like, and later in the episode, we're going to talk about Hell's Paradise a little bit, and there's an interesting thing with some certain characters. With the Miss Hashira and with this other character we'll be talking about a little bit later, Gabimaro. It's like there's this like hollowness and kind of lack of humanity, right? Because
Right,
when Tanjiro was talking about like, yeah, I believe if you do something good for somebody, that good is going to come back to you. Basically, karma. And Miss
right.
Hashira was dumbfounded, like, huh? What was that you just said right there? Like you was spitting. What was that? He's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. He did look a little thrown off.
yeah. And for somebody that like, I wouldn't say he it's interesting. The Miss Hashira looks young, but he's a skilled swordsman, obviously, if he's a demon slayer.
Yeah, he's the youngest Hashira to ever be like inducted into the court.
Okay, okay, so he all right. So
Yeah, he's like 12 or something like that.
okay, so I think that was interesting. That really showed his age. There's obviously a lot he still doesn't know.
Yeah, he's like naive. Like he's skill driven, but he's still naive in other aspects of life.
Right, because this man act like he's never heard of karma before. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I thought that was a little funny. But yeah, like I was saying, you got Gyoko in the vase, and that's when I think things took like a crazy turn. Because ever since they showed that, you see the other upper rank,
Uh,
Hentangu,
yeah, in Tengu or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hentangu,
I gotta
yeah,
get the pronunciations right.
yeah, me
I
too.
gotta work on that.
Me too. You see Hantengu on the roof, and he's all trembling, and then uh,
Yeah,
but back to the book before I get carried away though. Back to the vase. You know, you lure the swordsmith, puts his hand in, it, you know, dude gets sucked, and blood gushes out, and
yeah.
like,
Then he
yo,
spits him out. That threw me off. When
that
he
was
spit
a
the dude out, I was like, oh,
yeah. When I saw that scene, I was reminded, like, yeah, this isn't really like a sweet, like this isn't Naruto. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm, not at all.
That's no like shade or slight at Naruto, but what I mean to say is Demon Slayer is definitely a little bit more it's a little more morbid and darker, you know what I mean?
Facts. I
Not
will.
over
Yeah, that's very true.
you know what I'm saying? Not overwhelmingly, but it's a little darker, and I was just like, damn, man, when I saw that happen, I was like, yo, things are about to get crazy. If they're showing something like that within the first like 12 minutes of the episode, I know the rest is about to go be wild. And sure enough, it was because we see the Mist Hashira, Nezuko, and we also see Tanjiro
Right.
kind of having a moment, bonding, if you will. You know, Han Tengu starts to creep in.
And
And
that was the thing too. Like they didn't know he was there.
yeah, but before we even get to that, I had a question. Do
Hmm.
you think Nezuko was trying to communicate something to the Mist Hashira before
Right.
that scene happened? Because when Nezuko popped up, she looked at the Miss Hashira and she was kind of like flapping her arms like this and doing like a punching beating motion. Like it was like she was trying
He
to
did?
communicate something. Did you catch
Did
that?
I might have missed that. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. Let me know because
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
and I didn't notice that the first time I watched it. Honestly, it was like my third time watching it. I stopped watching
Right.
a
And that's
little bit
what's
after
good
that.
about these joints is because they can do so much and really get it. Did they take it off? Oh no, they didn't. Hmm.
But yeah, I thought that was yeah, I thought that was I was just curious because she can't talk or won't talk, but she can listen though. But
Yeah, her actions are kind of peculiar. It does look like she's like stompy and pouty.
yeah, yeah. So oh, you
Yeah,
watching?
she
You know what
might
I
have.
mean? And notice she did like a flapping motion,
Yeah, like
Tanjiro
pay
ends up
attention to me.
Tanjiro and yeah, but I thought maybe I'm overlooking it, but I thought it was interesting. She did like a little bird flying motion, and obviously we know later in the episode Tanjiro gets flown away.
Right. I don't know. It like and now that I think about why I probably didn't pay attention to it, it's because she was mimicking them.
Mm.
Like when they did the head tilt, she did the head tilt, and then they both all did the head tilt, and
But
then they both were like, "Yeah, somebody's here." Yeah, that's
yeah,
strange. I didn't
and
notice
then
that.
yeah, Hantangu, the upper rank 4 demon, sliding the door open, looking all worried and trembling in, and the Miss Hashira, Tanjiro, or Nezuko didn't even notice.
Right? They couldn't sense shit. Like they just thought it was like maybe like a swordsmith just coming to their door or something like that, and definitely wasn't.
I really liked how like it showed how dumbfounded everybody was. Everybody was just like, "Is that a deal?" Like they couldn't really believe or process what they were. And I thought it
They
was
got
cool
stuck.
for. I thought it was really cool for them to slow things down and kind of showed that because it really drove home that feeling we can all feel when we're like dumbstruck by stuff happens, like when you get into a
Yeah.
car accident or
Hmm.
you can't find your car, or that moment you realize you left your car keys inside your car or something. That things just kind of go like, that
That like
10
tunnel
seconds
vision,
of
like almost.
processing feels
Yeah.
like, it feels like 20 minutes. And I thought
Hmm.
the animation slowed down and kind of quivered a little bit, got wavy. It's like,
Hmm.
what are we seeing? Is this real? And yeah, what were your thoughts on the animation in that scene? Because I want to talk to you about the animation when they fight Hantengu, when they fight the demon.
Right. I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying it like across the board the whole time. Um, they've just been next level with the animation. I mean, across the board, they're like outdoing themselves, and I really appreciate it because it's like it's showing me, like, as an illustrator, it's showing me something to aspire to or something to be inspired by, not only like be entertained by, it's really stepping up and setting the bar for what's possible with animation. Like, me personally, I feel like animation is like underrated and unsung sometimes because like even the illustrators themselves are not like paid properly, taken care of. Um, I was
Yeah,
watching
'cause
this thing.
I
I
sent
think,
I sent you that one joint about Mangaku. Was it yesterday?
yeah,
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 bro.
like
Like,
that's real shit. Like, there's been like many a nights where I'm like, I won't get anything done, or I won't have like my best thoughts until the middle of the night, but I need to like lay down because like can barely see as it already is, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to like bleed my eyes to like create an idea, and I couldn't dare imagine if I had a publication that people sought after and wanted, and I couldn't like fulfill that need. Because if you think about it, it really is like it. It really is like pushing yourself into like a type of enslavement.
yeah,
Um, But like all that aside, it's like I'm awestruck by it. I'm gonna sing like sing them as heroes as much as I can because those animators are working their asses off and giving us a product that like can't be scaled by comparison to other anime unless they're on that level or produced by that studio. Like if it's
and
not Ufotable, Mappa, or any of the other big wheelhouses that's like cranking out like top tier anime, they can't be compared. Like they really can't.
and
Like
for those
consistently just doing an amazing job. That episode was
and for those that are wondering why we're kind of gushing over the anime, man. I mean, over the animation style and the quality of the animation. There's this wild, clean, and detailed scene when Hantengu gets cut in half by the Miss Hashira, and his head
mhm,
regenerates like so. Right after the
a
cut,
whole nother body.
while the head is floating in air, decapitated, a whole body starts to form and stem from like the neck to the spinal cord and everything. And then the body that's headless, a new head, and
Grows a
yeah,
new
just a
head.
new head in general, spawns and comes out. And you see the veins and the flesh and you just kind of build up, man. Just that detail, man. It was chef's kiss. It was wild. And that had me looking stuck like I felt like I was in Tanjiro's shoes, just kind of flabbergasted. Watch that happen. It's like now there's two of them. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
I also want to ask you about the character Genja that scarred up that Tanjiro's trying to be cool with. I don't
yeah,
know how far you got in the manga or read along, but like let me know if I'm overthinking it, but I feel like we have characters that are supporting characters Then there's some characters that are background characters that are kind of pointless. They're just there to kind of help flesh the world out. That's how I see things. Maybe there's more of a spectrum than just those two buckets. But let just entertain me for now. Let's say there are those two buckets. You're a supporting character where you're gonna have
Mhm.
a side role. You're gonna be the Robin of somebody's Batman in some kind of capacity. You're gonna be instrumental to the main character's growth or some kind of. You're gonna do something instrumental, or you're kind of just there just to be there. Which one is he? Because me seeing him died, I was like, man, why are you even showing us, introducing us to this character, let alone this character
He's
that
not a background character.
he's not?
Nah,
Okay,
he's not
okay,
done.
okay. All right, all right.
I'm sorry, like I just got. We'll
Okay,
let you know
okay,
that like
okay,
he's
okay.
not
Because
done.
I was just like, bro, and obviously, if you don't know by now, spoiler alert. We're really reviewing this episode thoroughly. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, for what
there
it
will be
seemed like,
like
bro,
spoiler-free
I'm like, bro,
episodes.
you can't be dead. You can't be dead already. So I'm hoping that when
Nah,
you got, so he had the gun,
yeah,
and whatever that precious metal that be splitting demons' wigs. Of course, the bullets were made out of that because he shot his bullet at two of. I know they have names. I have not memorized them, but Hantengu is now two demons. He shot at the
yeah,
next. He shot the next of both demons, so now there's four because they spawned. Two times two is
mhm.
four. And while Tanjiro's doing the counting, he gets yoked up by one of the demons. But before that, let's talk about how the Miss Hashira got fanned what a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
But
things
it was so casual too. It was like, and then that fucking gigantic ass blast just rocked him, bro. That
it's a
shit was cool. That shit like had me whole fucked up for a good minute.
how we are talking about how Ichigo and Bleach when it was raining, how the rain didn't even touch him. The rain turned
Uh
the rain turned to mist because he had that aura around him.
you talking about the Miss Hashira?
No. I'm not talking about the mist. I'm talking about Bleach now. I'm talking about like
Oh
power.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay,
I'm
okay,
talking
okay, okay. When
about,
it when
I'm talking about how
Bleach
we were
was
both like,
heating up and
yeah,
shit.
we were both gushing over that because that showed how powerful Ichigo was. The fact that rain couldn't touch him. That's sort of how I felt about when the mist Hashira got blown away off of what was such a casual flick of the wrist.
Bruh, that delayed like just speaking on that, the other one too was strong as shit with the electricity staff.
Yes, the rage demon.
Yeah, and then the one with the one that was a flyer, like the
Yeah.
sound wave joint. Yo, that shit, it was like a concussive blast, bro. Like straight in my man's ear, dog. Like they're all crazy strong, like and effortless too. It's like they're just like and it. Okay, so I'm just getting sidetracked, but I'm thinking about like that situation when everything started popping off, and then the fact that Ginyu like stepped in. Tanjiro assessed that he was that upper rank based on how he was dodging at first. He was letting his head get cut off on purpose so he could split. He was
Which
like,
what
"No, don't do it, huh?"
which I thought was kind of interesting because did he have to do that to split, or could he split himself?
Maybe. I think every upper rank has like um their crux, like something that like holds them back or like kind of like levels the playing field. Like Akaza is strong, but he's like straight hand to hand combat for real, for real. His demon art is like invisible blows, but like if he gets ganged up on, like he's just a regular old guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Tanjiro's half dead and launched a fucking sword at him. He hit him too. Like I don't think he would have hit any of the other upper ranks,
yeah.
which is strange. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I see that. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah, yeah. Man, undetected. He can multiply.
yeah,
The Miss Hashira flying.
yeah,
All those things really just kind of just communicated the strength of this upper rank four. We
fact.
leveled up now, demons. I seen the difference now between the six and then four. And
Mm-hmm.
then Gyoko out there. Yeah, and I wanted to ask, yo, was that Gyoko, the carp, the fish looking joint out there in the wood? Was that Gyoko or
Yeah,
something else?
yeah, that was Goku. Because remember the vase was on top of the fish.
Okay,
Yeah, the vase was upside down on top of the fish.
I thought so.
I
Okay,
think Goku can like use his power to morph or mutate things. You know what I'm saying? I think he'd probably take something and turn it into like a totem, so to speak, or like a golem. Like he took a koi fish and turned that into like a mutated, like bastardized version of one. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he can do that with a tree or a stone or who knows. I mean, um, I'm not quite sure of his powers. Um,
I wonder if they'll show how Gyoko even knew where the village was.
I think they gotta reveal it. I think they gotta reveal it. Like maybe he eats them to get their memories or something like that. Like maybe they did that. Like they intercepted like transport to the village or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe there's like a mole. You know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can't wait to find that out. And I also want to know about Swordsmith Village security. Like two demons, upper ranks at that, really got in undetected.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think like with shit hitting the fan, it's like if the Hashira couldn't detect them, there's no way that the security for the Swordsmith village was going to detect them. You know.
But yeah, I get that. I just wonder if there's like any
I feel like they
uh,
gotta reveal it.
guards, spells, any kind of like things in place to try to like trigger suspicion.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, it was quiet. Like nothing else happened once they got attacked. So I'm assuming that they took out a lot of the people in the Swordsman village.
It's possible. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
nighttime too, but yeah, it's possible.
and you saw like what's the homie in the vase? Like you saw him just sitting on a stoop taking out like unsuspecting people as they pass by. So I think it's
And
like easy to
Gyoko,
say that like,
and
huh?
Gyoko, I thought it was weird because given how strong I imagine Gyoko is, why was it toying with that swordsmith kid?
Because they can.
Like
Yeah,
that
you know what I'm
swordsmith.
saying? Like I feel like they
Yeah,
get to a point where like if there's nothing that like can be done against them, they're not going to be pressed about like if you go back to like the to the exam like on the mountain where Tanjiro came across that big gelatinous mass of like eating like Demon Slayer trainees. That
yeah,
motherfucker was just like horse playing with everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't care. Like, it was like, yo, you can't win. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to make you a part of me. And, like, apparently had been out there for years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the
yeah,
ones that, like, did survive, sometimes they probably didn't even, like, they probably didn't even come in contact with that demon. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. And yeah, so that was about the rundown, folks. I thoroughly enjoyed that episode a lot. We're still in the thick of it, so I imagine maybe for the next two episodes we could still be brawling. Because I don't think you're gonna just show two upper ranks in one episode and you dead them all in the next two episodes. So
yeah, I think
uh,
we're going to continue to fight to the end
yeah,
of the season.
I feel like I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, Genya is still alive. I'm looking forward to seeing Miss Hashira and Tanjiro and Nezuko teaming up. I
Yeah,
think where everybody is at now, I imagine Nezuko and Genya are together, and Tanjiro and Miss Hashira are close because Miss Hashira got blown away and Tanjiro got flown off. So I think
yeah.
they might be in close proximity to one another, possibly. So maybe they can team
Right.
up. So I'm really anticipating the next episode. Is there anything you're looking forward to?
Yeah, a lot of what you said as well. I think it's going to be like a toss up of who takes on who because I mean, at this point, you got a demon or two per swordsman, and it's just going to be like one of those things where like you're going to like I think what's going to be fun is like seeing them have to like trade off and switch up to fight certain demons to figure out their best match to take one out, and then like figuring out how they're going to coordinate to like kill all these demons at the same time.
Yeah,
Like I just got a feeling that like Tanjiro is gonna like pin them like, and this is just me purely speculating that like Tanjiro and Nezuko or somebody is just gonna pin them all down to the ground, and they're just gonna chop all their fucking heads off at the same time or some shit.
I mean
Like
for Hantengu or the Hantengus
yeah,
plural, head chopping not gonna work.
yeah. I mean, or like find a vital spot or something like that. Like homie was saying. I just know old girl like her blade is a whip blade, so it's like a whip chain.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily like a sword, like a conventional sword. You know what I'm saying? So I think she'll have a pro. I think she'll probably finish them off like mincing and dicing them all up or some shit. I don't know. That's my prediction. But I guess I want to see like how much has Tanjiro progressed using sun breathing. Seeing like if Nezuko has some new attributes or skills, and then definitely just like um really like getting to see these other Hashira in action. Like I think like that's what like people are going to be like really interested in is like seeing how all these Hashira get down because like now we're in the upper slate of Hashira as well. Like we love Rengoku and Tengen and stuff, but they weren't the strongest.
right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you still got Giyu, uh Gotemai or whatever his name is, the snake serpent one, the wind Hashira, uh, and who else? And then these two, yeah,
But are
like bro,
those like, oh yeah, you got that one. What's that? What's Shorty's name? The one that had a crush on
oh yeah,
Tanjiro.
the butterfly joint.
Yeah, she's still in the village too.
Yeah, she is.
So maybe she might hear the ruckus. She might pop out and get involved.
Hashira, what Hashira left? That's not their names. Not what I want. I need glasses. Giyu, the water Hashira, Kojiro, Rengoku, Flame Hashira, Tengen, Uzui, sorry. Shinobu, Kocho, the insect Hashira, Mishiro Takedo, yeah, the Miss Hashira, Mitsuri Kanjiroi, Kanroji, the Love Hashira, and then Gome Himajima, uh, Haimijima, the Stone Hashira. Yeah, so there's some ones left, like for sure. Like I said, I'm still like hyped for the Stone Hashira, but I'm also excited to see like where this puts us after this. Because like I said, it's like after this is like the Hashira training arc.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody's going to level up, and I really what's going to be interesting is I hope we don't see. It's funny to say this. I hope we don't see Inosuke or Zenzetsu until the next arc.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and I say that because like they're gonna do a considerable amount of leveling up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you like excited to see from it moving forward?
Um, talking to you, I can't wait to see Doma in action when we
Yeah.
get there. Domo, and then Yurichi's brother Kokushibo.
Yeah.
So Doma upper rank 2, Kokushibo's upper rank 1. So seeing them both in action is going to be pretty cool. I think we got a little bit of ways till that happens. I don't know if that'll be this season. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. Gyoko's so ugly, bro. Like, I just want to see him die and what else he can do.
Uh,
You know.
right.
Um, and yeah, you know, I want to see what comes of that sword. You know, of
Yeah.
Yorichi's
Fact.
sword. And then yeah, I want to see everybody. I want to see everybody level up too. It'd be cool to see Tanjiro gain the Miss Hashira's respect more so. You know.
I
So
think
there's
so.
a lot of little things like that I'm looking forward into seeing develop and come along. But yeah, yeah, I'm liking it, bro. I love how the switch flipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Big facts.
Speaking of switching the flip, man, I
Yeah.
decided to delve into Hell's Paradise. Man, the lore. I like the fact that it's in the Edo period. That's cool, you know. Very ancient times, times that as an artist that studied, you know, Japanese art and art history and whatnot. Like I don't know. I have some admiration for that time because you know the Edo printmaking with the print blocks and stuff. So seeing some of the landscapes and villages, even the floral designs, I think that took the Edo period. Like obviously, since it's set in the Edo period, the Edo period obviously
Mhm.
influenced a lot of the way the villages were laid out and some of the way certain flowers and things like that on the Paradise Island were depicted. But I thought it was really cool because some of the montages of scenes when they were doing the ancient storytelling about that hidden island called Paradise
Yeah.
Island, you know, it looked like a Edo illustration, like an Edo print
It
illustration. You
really
know,
did. Yeah.
I thought that was really, I thought that was pretty tight.
Yeah. I'll say like just to add to that, the whole color palette of that series really pays homage to like uh those type of Edo period paintings and stuff like that. Just like any art that came from that period, like those like light colorly style, just like richness. There's like a watercolor richness to it.
Yeah,
Is what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah, yeah. I think it's a solid show so far. Yeah.
yeah. First episode, we really get acquainted with the main character, Gabimaru.
Hmm.
Emo vibes. He's self-proclaimed as a hollow, you know, shinobi. He's been training the art of assassination and kill since he was young, and
Yep.
went so hard that he has some supernatural like abilities. He has white hair as well. Um, so I mean, I've only watched the first 4 episodes, but I feel like once the season is done, we're gonna have to talk about white haired characters in anime. Like, is Gabi Maro shaping to be him? Like one of them? Like Kalua strong,
I
Kakashi
mean,
strong.
yeah, they seem to be OP. I think white hair is like a show of wisdom,
Yeah,
experience. Yeah, I think it's only inevitable. I think it's only inevitable that we see that. Uh, yeah, I mean, oh, so they say it means like a mental breakdown. So, just some what's the name? They said, what does hair turning white in anime mean? It says simpler words. Anime characters with white hair can be a symptom of mental breakdown. For instance, you must have seen Tokyo Ghoul's Kinkaneki's hair turn white after due to severe torture. Yeah, there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters like
yeah.
that. Hmm.
I saw this one other site said that white haired characters, it often indicates that the character's gone through a lot in their lives.
I was just reading that. Yep.
Yeah, so I was like, dang, maybe
So,
well,
yeah, maybe.
which
Go
so
ahead.
far it looks like, you know, Gabby Maru has based on what he told us, you know, what he's
Yeah,
revealed.
Yeah, I mean, even the way he spoke about war and killing when they were doing like the selection, he was like, "Bro, like I really don't want to be here killing people," and it's
Yeah.
like I don't feel like there's a need to kill unnecessarily. He's like, but if that's what you want me to do, like I'll do it. So he was never afraid of the smoke for sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I have uh no like background knowledge of this anime. I feel like what they've set up for us is like a smorgasbord of delightful content. That they're just starting to like rip and roar through. Like I mean, it's like what 4 episodes, and that shit has me like insanely hooked.
White haired characters, man. I mean, I said last time we talked Demon Slayer last week, I was looking forward to the Wind Hashira, because
Yeah,
he's got scars and he's got white hair too. And he
bro.
looked like he looked like he'd been through something.
Yeah. Side note for him, like I found out that like his blood is poison, like to demons.
I'm glad you brought that up because I know we moved on from Demon Slayer, but going back,
Yeah,
when Gyoko first consumed that first swordsmith, yeah, the swordsmith, he kind of said like he said something like, "Oh, like this guy was no good for me." You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know what that's about, but apparently demons got an acquired taste. They got a palate. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They can't.
yeah.
They
I
can't
think it's,
eat
I
it.
think it's a little omen, like a little like eluding to type deal.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. But back to Hell's Paradise.
Yeah,
Uh, if you're listening, we highly recommend it, man. The main character Gabimaru is really dope. He's paired up with the executioner, so the whole thing is like there's an elixir on this magical island. All of these wanted criminals that are all, for the most part, pretty OP are going to be accompanied by an executioner on the island to go find this elixir.
yeah,
And I don't know, based the fact that you have criminals on a mission, so to speak, it's kind of giving me Suicide
yeah,
Squad. You
yeah. Really, really, yeah.
know what I'm saying? You see that? You see that?
Uh huh.
So
Because
it's
I
kind of
mean,
giving me.
it's like they try to like have him by like a short leash. It's like, oh, if you do this, then we'll do this for you, and it's like, yeah, like are y'all pulling like a bait and switch on these dudes? Because that's kind of what they did in Suicide Squad.
Right.
And like you
Sort of,
realize
but
how
I
much
mean,
of a flex they were because like they had Rick Flag was the Suicide Squad's quote unquote handler and stuff like that. So these executioners are like their handlers.
yeah, and they're starting. I think all the hands are starting to see that it's not really easy to contain an OP,
Fact,
insane criminal.
facts.
You
How far did you get? Did you finish all 4 episodes?
Yes, sir.
What did you think when shit started hitting the fan?
First of all, those demons look so cool. The character design of those demons were gnarly.
The little the millipede with the fingers for
The
teeth.
fingers, yeah. The demon
That
that had
was creepy as
demon
fuck.
that had an arm stretching out of each eyeball, the
Yeah,
hands like that. I was like, bro,
yeah,
what?
yeah, bruh. Um, Stuff like that makes me wonder like what's going on in other people's head, and I'm like, dog, do I even have the capacity to try to create something like that? Like those type of people's like imagination are light years above mine.
I thought the same thing too, my friend. I was, yeah, the character design for these demons, and you know, not to bounce back and forth, but like the character design in Demon Slayer too. Those demons looking at Gyoko look like Kokushibo. Like
Yeah,
even Muzan got the white suit, fedora, Michael Jackson, smooth criminal vibes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's out of this world. And so yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I like the fact that Gabimaru is like fighting for like not his pride, not his life, but like to get back with his girl, his wife. You know what I
facts.
mean?
A
And he's really
noble
back for her.
cause.
Yeah, I think that's really dope. And he's on this island looking for the elixir. And I like the fact that they also showed that when he's looking to fight or really go all out, he kind of zones out, where everything is just like
Like he cuts
silhouette.
off his humanity. Yeah, that's just cold, bro. Like speaking on that, uh, what I've started to find very interesting, and I feel like has become like a staple in most anime or like any shonen style or like powerhouse style or action anime is like the power scaling system. I feel like the power scaling system, if it's done right, it accents and adds to the whole story of the anime itself. Because I mean, you think about Demon Slayer or Hell's Paradise, right? To have these like OP criminals, you had to have a power scaling. But then like you have to have that power scaling like have like its checks and balances as well to make it legitimized, right? So it's like these criminals are OP enough to take out the executioners, but the executioners in turn have the skill if they have the fortitude to take out them,
Yeah.
right? So it's like with Hell's Paradise, it's about who gets caught off guard, really gets like sunk. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in Demon Slayer, your power is about like internal will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think like if you think about like the last fight with Tengen, right? Tengen Tengen came out of there scathed, but like he really just like went all out and was like, "Yo, like we not done. I figured out how you move." And like poison and with one hand, he went toe to toe with Gitaro and like was whooping his ass. Like, what if he like would have known that right out the gate, bro? He would have probably finished Gitaro and his sister dumb fast. And then the Gitaro, his like weakness was his sister. So it's like everything had its checks and balances. I feel like when you do that shit well, it really adds to the story. And I feel like Hell's Paradise is like they're building their own like power scaling and like Maru is at like the head of that, like showing like his iron will and his iron neck, like so to speak, and
Right.
like really flexing on them hoes. And then you're like seeing other people step. Huh?
About to get my charger.
Okay,
Just make a
I
note.
pause.
40. All right.
Where were we? We talking about power scaling, right?
Yeah, you were talking about power scaling. I was listening to you.
Oh yeah, give me Maru. Um, just thinking about the like power scaling itself and like how they're setting everything up. Not only were they like setting up Gibby Maru to be like a powerhouse, they were actually showcasing others that were like powerhouses themselves. Um, that brother duo, like I don't know what their story is, but like he basically broke in there to break his brother out.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on with that, like, and only has one eye, so like he's definitely OP. Like he's like striking like with such efficiency and like you know what I'm saying. So it's got some stuff going on, and I really appreciate it.
You think other executioners know that's his brother?
I don't know, and I'm like the way that it's playing out. It's like I feel like the executions of the mindset that like if it doesn't affect me, then I don't care.
Okay.
Because if you think about how they like carried it with the hands being tied, they didn't care. They're like, yo, if it gets my job done, then I don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. I feel that. I find myself in terms of what I'm looking forward to now. I want to know what other kind of demons this island holds.
Yeah,
Also want to know how many other criminals, executioners that Gabby Morrow and his executioners are going to come across
right.
and
Yeah,
fight. And interesting to see their relationship, for lack of a better word,
right,
evolve. Because they're going to have to rely on each other to survive and get through.
right. I wonder if they're like either gonna like band together to take on these like forces like together, or will like we in turn see some that are like so like hell bent on doing their own thing that like like homie says like yo like if it's gonna make it easier on us, our best bet is to take out the other squads. You know what I'm saying? Like old dude that chopped his own hand off. He was
Yeah.
like, if I gotta go through everybody like get where I need to be, then that's so be it. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with it. I think they got a lot of they got a lot of pull, and it's like I'm just like being drugged by the seat of my pants. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no idea where they're gonna go with it, but hey, it's got me there 4 episodes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see what else Hell's Paradise has entailed. Entails. Appreciate you putting me on to it.
yeah, man,
I'm tuned for the next one.
hell yeah. Um, yeah. One last thing, like, was there any like one scene or thing that was like done in Hell's Paradise that just had you like, oh shit?
Maybe that ugly fish looking demon you saw. And then
Oh,
the fact that demons could talk and be like, yo, you shouldn't kill. I'm like, bro, who are you telling?
yeah, bro. Nah, that was creepy. I thought it was crazy when like Gabby Mar was talking to the executioner, and he was like, "Yo, can you just please untie me?" And then that big golem looking motherfucker yoked his ass with that like fucking ball and chain, bro. He was like, "Man, he snuck me." Like I was like, "Yo, he snuck you." And then like what he said next, just like every time I hear it again, I'm just like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I dislocated my neck."
Yeah.
It's like, what you broke your neck? Like, what you talking about? Dislocated it? Like, what you talking about, bro? Like, so like that kind of tripped me. I was like, that part right there alone let me know I was in for a wild ride. So, yeah, I'm hyped to see where they go with it. Um, yeah, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man, that's it for me today.
That was action packed. Well, yeah, man, that's all we got. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know Derek feels the same way. Um, yeah, continue the journey with us, man. Continue to watch the shows with us. Come chat with us. Drop a comment in the comment section. Like, share. Yeah, see y'all on the next one. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Peace.